Welcome to this video. In this video I will talk about asthma. So what is asthma? Basically it is a bronchial hyperresponsiveness. Now how to understand this in a simple way is, take the example, this is the airway of normal person, okay, and this is the airway of the asthma patient. In normal patient, take this is the irritative substance, okay, this small amount of irritative substance is not able to cause sensitivity in the normal patient, okay, and if it is doubled, okay, if the irritative size is this much, then it will cause irritation in the airways, and this will cause inflammation, okay, of the airways. Now what happens in asthma patient, that even the small amount of irritative substance, okay, is able to cause the inflammation in the patient, and this is called increased responsiveness, which is known as bronchial hyperresponsiveness. Now this is a type 1 hypersensitivity reaction. So how the patient will present to us, okay, patient will have a cough, wheezing, increased respiratory rate and dyspnea, okay, inspiration is to expiration ratio will be decreased. Why? Because time for expiration will be increased, okay, I will explain you this in a minute. Then there is a pulsus paradox and mucus plugging, okay. So how to remember all these symptoms, okay, easily is by learning the pathology. So what is the pathology behind is, there is a exposure to allergen, okay. So what this allergen will do, on first exposure, this dendritic cell will present it to the T cell. This T cell will recruit B cells, okay, and this B cell will form IgE antibodies. Now on second exposure, what will happen is, there is a memory cells, okay, memory B cells. There are memory B cells. Now this, on exposure to allergens, this memory B cells will be directly activated. This will form antibodies, and this will act on the mast cells, okay. This way, on each receptor, two antibodies need to be bound, okay. So this way, this mast cell will be activated in the lungs. This will release histamine and cytokines, and this will cause all the symptoms. So what happens is, now take this, a patient of the normal airway. This is the normal airway. It looks like this, but in asthma patient, the airway looks like this, okay. This is alveoli. In this there is a mucus plugging, so this is a mucus plugging, green one. Then the alveoli gets enlarged, okay, and there is a affected ventilation. So what happens is, because of this mucus plugging, the during expiration, the air won't be able to pass out easily, because there will be very less space, okay. While here during expiratory recoil, okay, air, there will be space for the air to pass out, okay. In this way there will be trapping of the airway, so alveoli become enlarged, okay. So there will be hypoventilation. So how to remember the symptoms now? Because of irritative substance, there will be cough, okay. There will be wheezing because airway is narrowed, you can see here. Then there will be dyspnea because of hypoventilation, okay. So these are the classical signs and the symptoms seen in the patient. Now when the patient like this comes in ED and X-ray is done, X-ray will be normal. So now what will be the next step? Spirometry. Spirometry, there will be FeV1 by FVC ratio will be decreased. Why this happens? Because I told you here that expiration is affected, okay. So air won't be able to be released out easily from the lungs, and because of this forced expiratory volume will be decreased. So which also occurs in COPD, okay. This is same like COPD, that FeV1 by FVC ratio is decreased, but DLCO is increased. How this occurs? It is explained here. Because of histamine release, there is an inflammatory process which will cause vasodilatation, and this will also affect alveoli. So our respiratory, that the patient's respiratory membrane is affected, so it will become leaky, and uh, there is vasodilatation. Okay, so there will be increased space between the endothelium of the vessels, so more carbon monoxide will enter the blood. In this way DLCO will increase. So this is the concept behind the increased DLCO. Many times students find it difficult to understand why DLCO is increased, but this is the main concept behind this. So now this, I hope this will be easier for you to remember. Okay, so after spirometry, what you need to do is methacholine challenge test to confirm it. Okay, because this is a reversible disease. So what you need to do is, when the patient comes to you, and the patient comes and we found out that spirometry is coming out to be FeV1 by FVC decreased, so we will give methacholine. What methacholine will do? Methacholine will narrow the airways. Okay, because when patient is not having the attack, in between the attack patient will be normal. So now how to diagnose at that time? So we will do methacholine challenge test. Okay, so by giving methacholine, it will act on the muscarinic receptors in the airways, and it will cause a smooth muscle contraction. Smooth muscle will contract and there will be bronchoconstriction. So it will mimic the attack of asthma for some time, and we will do spirometry. Okay, now after this, now this we will compare it with the previous one, which we will do when we have not given the methacholine. So first spirometry and second spirometry, before methacholine one and after methacholine one. If there is more than 20% difference, then we will consider it to be positive with asthma. Now what will be the pathology in this patient is bronchoconstriction, mucus plugging, and smooth muscle hypoplasia. Okay, these are the pathological points you need to remember. So how we can treat this patient? By giving bronchodilators, steroids, leukotriene inhibitors, and ketotifen. There is a Semster's triad that can be remembered: nasal polyp, asthma, and rhinitis. Okay. So yeah, that's all for this video.